The magazine, Human Events. The time, February 6, 2007. The topic, the 2008 Republican presidential primary contenders, and specifically, who would be the next Reagan? The assessment, what of Rudy Giuliani? Of the three, he is the only one to face a terrorist attack while in office. His role in 9/11 has cemented Americans' view of him as a detail-oriented, courageous and empathetic leader under stress. But well before that he figuratively walked into the lion's den of a crime-ridden, high-tax, and decaying city and carried out a conservative agenda of tax cuts, crime reduction and, in the case of the Brooklyn Museum, defense of religion in the public square. On this count, Giuliani seems to be the winner in the public character category for his extraordinary vision and leadership. Certainly his pro-choice stance creates the greatest concern for social conservatives, although his support for Justices Roberts and Alito and strict constructionist judges may give them some comfort. Beyond this hot-button issue, conservatives may be pleasantly surprised. Is there any city which more faithfully enacted an agenda of low taxes, school choice, crime reduction and bureaucratic reform? Although he, like Romney, has not been responsible for foreign policy, his many public speeches including his address to the 2004 GOP convention evidence a clear preference for assertion of American power, skepticism of international organizations at the expense of American sovereignty and defense of American exceptionalism and ideals. His defense of Israel and intolerance for Arab and UN-sponsored anti-Semitism is legendary. The rebirth of New York City, the most visible urban achievement in the 20th century, is the work of the person now dubbed America's mayor. For the millions of Americans who live in New York and the millions more who work or whose livelihood has been affected by its revival, the contrast between the pre- and post-Giuliani years could not be more striking. The author, Jen Rubin, currently with The Washington Post, where she's calling Giuliani constitutionally incapable of telling the truth, awful at his job, whatever that is, a font of bad advice and misinformation, and saying that he's disgraced himself. We all change our minds, and one can easily argue that the Rudy Giuliani of 2018 is a quite different figure than the Giuliani of 2007. But the complete reversal is rather fascinating for those of us who remember that coverage of that primary, and folks griping about Rubin being in the tank for Giuliani. In response to the emerging evidence that Donald Trump directed and participated in the commission of federal crimes, all too many Republicans are wrongly comforting themselves with political deflection and strained legal argument. The political deflection is clear, though a bit bizarre. The recent wave of news. Read more. Lanny Davis, Michael Cohen's lawyer-turned-advisor, vigorously denied the allegation that his former client traveled to Prague during the 2016 election to arrange a payment for Russian hackers intervening in the election on then-candidate Trump's behalf. The allegation that Cohen traveled to Prague is a key. Read more. Her comments came after she caused an uproar. Read more by Vincent Harinam. Under orders from Prime Minister Trudeau, Canadian Border Security Minister Bill Blair has chaired a series of closed-door consultations to read more. Better late than never, I hope, my weekend column has posted on the website. It deals with the question whether General Michael Flynn actually lied to the FBI agents, including the now infamous Peter Strzok, when they interviewed him in the White House on his third day on the job as national security. Read more. At the outset, let's get two things straight. First, there is something deeply disturbing about the Obama administration's decision to open a counterintelligence investigation on retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn while he was working on the Trump campaign, and, ultimately, about the justice. Read more.